Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to let you in on a little secret, a way to speak Spanish that is way simpler than you might think. Seriously, just hang with me for a couple of minutes and you'll be building your very own complete sentences. Let's jump right in. You know that feeling, that huge, intimidating wall that pops up whenever you think about learning a new language? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. It's the very thing that stops most people before they even get started. But today, we're going to reframe that wall and turn it into a door. I mean, maybe you had a terrible experience back in a high school class, right? Or it's the sheer thought of having to memorize just endless lists of vocabulary. Ugh. Or maybe it's just trying to wrestle with all those complicated grammar rules. These are the usual suspects, the things that scare almost everyone off. But here's our plan. We're going to tackle them by making them completely irrelevant. Okay, so here it is, the big secret. What if I told you that right now, as you're listening to this, you already know hundreds, maybe even thousands of Spanish words? I'm serious. You're not starting from zero. You're starting with this massive head start. And now I'm going to show you exactly how to unlock it. Look, the biggest myth out there is that learning a language is all about brute force, just memorizing stuff over and over again. It's not. The real key, especially with a language like Spanish, is to just shift your focus a little bit. It's all about spotting simple, repeatable patterns. So why does this work so well? Well, it's because English and Spanish are basically family. You could call them super close cousins. They share a ton of history, a ton of linguistic DNA, which means, yep, they share a ton of words. And there's actually a technical name for these shared words. They're called cognates. And these things are our secret weapon. They are words that look, sound, and mean pretty much the exact same thing in both languages. And we're not talking about a handful of them. There are literally thousands.
All right, you ready? Let's go ahead and unlock this hidden treasure trove of vocabulary that's just been sitting there in your brain this whole time. You're about to see that it really just comes down to a few super simple pattern swaps.
Okay, check out this first pattern. It is so easy. Take an English word that ends in ANT. In Spanish, you often just add an A sound at the end. So important becomes importante. See that? Relevant becomes relevante. It's the same deal with words ending in ENT. Different becomes diferente. Simple, right? You're already doing it. And believe it or not, the patterns can get even easier. Words that end in IBLE or ABLE, a lot of the time, they are practically identical in Spanish. Possible is posible. Probable is probable. Really, the only difference is just a little tweak in the pronunciation. Okay, just let that sink in for a second. With just those two simple little tricks, you have instantly, and I mean instantly, unlocked over 1,000 Spanish words. This isn't memorization at all. You're just converting the words you already know. All right, so we've got this huge pile of words now. Awesome. But now what? Well, we've got to connect them, right? Think of it like a big box of Legos. We just need a few of those basic little connector pieces, and we can start building actual sentences. Okay, our first and probably most important Lego block is the word es. It just means it is. So, how would you say it is important? You got it. Es importante. See? So easy. Next block up, no. And you're gonna love this. Making a sentence negative in Spanish is ridiculously simple. You just pop the word no right before the verb. That's it. So it is not becomes no es. No extra words, no fuss. Okay, let's add a little spice. Block number 3 is muy. It means very. So let's try it. How would you say it is very different? Yep, es muy diferente. Look at that! You're already making your sentences more descriptive. And our last block, for now anyway, is para mí. This one means for me. And this little phrase is what lets us make our sentences personal. It's how we can start to share our own opinions. Okay, we've got our words, we've got our Lego blocks. It's time. Let's put it all together and build a complete thought right from the ground up, step by step. Okay, just watch how this snaps together. We grab one of our words, let's say relevante. Now we add our verb, es relevante. It is relevant. Let's add a little detail. Es muy relevante. It is very relevant. Now let's make it personal. Es muy relevante para mí. It is very relevant for me. And finally, let's flip it negative. No es muy relevante para mí. It is not very relevant for me. You just built that. A full sentence. Do you see that? You literally have all the tools you need right now to express a real, complete idea. And you know what? With just one more tiny little piece, we can make what you say even more powerful. And that final piece of the puzzle is pero. It just means but. And this one little word is a game changer because it lets us connect two different ideas into one more complex sentence. All right, take a look at this sentence. Es importante, pero no es muy relevante para mí. Just take a second, look at it. See if you can break it down with all the little blocks we've just learned. You can read that, can't you? For real. It is important, but it is not very relevant for me. Think about it. Just a few minutes ago, that might have looked like complete gibberish. But now, it's a complete thought that you totally understand. And you could even say it yourself. So let's just do a quick recap of what you've actually accomplished here. You can now spot a huge pool of words. You can use simple connector words to build sentences. You can make those sentences positive or negative. And you can express a complete personal thought. That's not a small step. That is a massive leap forward. You know, learning a language isn't about being perfect. It's about communicating. And you now have the fundamental tools to start communicating, like right now. So really, the only question left is, what's the first thing you're going to say?